I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Baby mama terrorist. BMT. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. Riding around, try to play the Romans, innocent with an evil soul. In public, wearing fake hair lows, behind closed doors, she rocked them horns. I moved on, she wanna teach me a lesson. Can't see my kids, man, I'm stressing. Couldn't see my son to give me his present. She got married to teach me a lesson, telling people she did nothing wrong, knowing that well since I moved on. Thought that money would keep me home. Hell no, bitch, I'm gone. I don't know what you lost your mind. Try to say my name, but I know your kind. Saying I'm a deadbeat, bitch, you lying. Fighting in court, man, I'm trying to be a father to my kids. She focus on the wrong shit, worried about another being instead of us co-parenting. Put my kids in grown folks' business, telling them lies, bitch, you wicked. Split personality, oh yeah, you twisted. Never thought I'd go through this. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups.
All stand, please. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. This honorable court now stands adjourned, signed, aye. God save the state and this honorable court.
Yeah. You may be seated, motherfuckers. Order in the court. Shout out to the Bay Mama Terrace Bounty Hunters. I'm your host, Mr. Palmer. And what we're going to talk about is an interesting video. It was done 5 years ago from a college professor somewhere in the West Coast, I believe in California. And he talks about how child support basically full of shit. He exposed the system like we've been always doing, we always have. He talks about it from an economical standpoint. And what's up, Danny? Appreciate you tuning in. Want to give a shout out to the peoples up in here. We got Peaceful Pulley up in here. We got Jarvis. We got Benjamin. We got my boy Pride Hero up in the building. He said, glad you came on today, bro. Needed this message today. Shout out to Truth Life Lover. Shout out to Silverus. Hey, appreciate you tuning in. We got No One Cares up in here. Shout out Peaceful Pulley already doing a $10 donation. Appreciate you, my brother. Also got my boy Ratio up in the building. Me, aka Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, what's good, bro? Shout out to the team. We got 47 people up in here. Let me see. Let me grab it. We got 47 people up in here. We got 28 likes. Let's definitely get them likes up. We got BMO in the house. That's what's going on. We got Alma Z that just came in. Man, Jay Shine just came up in the building. Man, that's what's up, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Man, we got Derek coming up in here. Derek Payne. That's what I like. That's what I'm talking about. Let's just get them likes up, though. Let's get them likes equal to the people that's up in here. We got Timbo up in here. You know, I was contemplating on coming in today, but I said, nah, I got to do this. And shout out to Julius Mays. He sent me this actually a couple weeks ago, and I told him I was going to talk about it once I checked it out. Got to give a shout out to Luke for the $4.99 donation. Appreciate you, my brother. Also, we got our brand up in the building. Peace to all the fathers in here. Salute. You know, now we got 50 people up in here. This video is a 50-minute video, but you know me, I'm gonna dissect it. It's very interesting. And like I say, it's we already know how this system is. We know it's not about the most best fit. It's not about the most benefit. It's not about the best interests of the child. We already know this. So we know this. But this is coming from a college professor who studied this. And like I said, this is 5 years ago. And he put it he talked about this on an economical standpoint of child support. And it's very deep. It basically, once again, exposed this unjust ass system for all the evil deeds they do. And of course, like I said, these baby mama terrorists aid the system. Shout out to Jason Johnson up in this building. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to Derek. We already know Derek in the building. We got Jeffrey Ransom up in the building, coming all the way from Philadelphia, from the East Coast, checking in. That's what's up. And you know what? Funny that Hero said what he said. He was hoping I came on today. That's why I try to come on here more than I at one point when I was just coming on like maybe 2 days out the week because my schedule was messed up. But now I try to come at least 5 to 6 days a week, one time a day at least. Because sometimes we just need a peace of mind. We need to be around a community. We need to be around a brotherhood. So I do understand I needed my damn self. So, you know, even though at times when y'all want to see me on here every day like I've been lately, I just been busy running for child support. And it's a hell of a job trying to do shit on the outside of here, you know, because I'm not just going to be on social media. But I appreciate y'all tuning in on Saturday. You know, DMX funeral is today, or it was today. Rest in peace to DMX. Rest in peace to Shock G. And rest in peace to everybody who lost a loved one since the beginning of the year, man. It's been crazy. A lot of kids been getting killed left and right. All the shit we've been seeing on the media. Rest in peace to everyone who passed this year and before. But yeah, like I say, this is gonna be a video from like I said, economical standpoint, and we finna tune in right now. Then after that, you know, we're gonna talk about it and get y'all thoughts. Cause like I said, it's very interesting. Very interesting. But even though this professor spoke his truth, got evidence and everything else, the system is not going to change on his theory, even though it's truth. But they're not going to change a damn thing because they're going to keep that $51 billion crime bill and they on their laps. Danny said, yeah, I contacted federal child support a few months ago. Now state tripping again, but I got their ass now. Yeah, I know. We talk behind the scenes. Shout out to people that's coming over here on Facebook, because I definitely want the Facebook community to come over here on the YouTube, because this is where I'm doing more of the dialogues and the videos and the lives and stuff like that. Severus said, child support keep garnishing my dad's wages after my mom passed. What? They stopped after a year. Shake my head. Damn. See, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Now I'm gonna put it back up. She said child support kept garnishing my dad's wages after my mom passed. They stopped after about a year. Now here they go again. Oh, you said they kept? Damn, that's crazy. They did it after the fact for a whole year. I get what you're saying. Wow. Yeah, man. Shock G died. I want to say Tuesday or Wednesday. I didn't think about it because we talked about the Black Rob situation. He passed away also, man. I don't know. They ain't saying what his cause of death was, but it wasn't no COVID or nothing. I don't know. Want to give a shout out to Derek Payne for the $5 donation. Salute and support, fam. Needed to hear this, bro. My man. I think we all do. We got Shock up in the building. What's good, brother? Appreciate you coming in. We got Alma Z, $2 donation. Baby mama tears poised her twins with pine sol and milk. Sad. If you got the article, please email me that. Please email me that. Danny said, took my mom's death benefits from. Yeah, I remember that. They took his mama's death benefits for child support, man. Clan Killer say, we didn't learn this from community college. I already know what it is, bro. But we're going to get this started right now, and I'm going to go in now. We got 69 people in here, 47 likes. Let's get them likes up. Let's get it close as possible so we get it, keep this page going to algorithm. But I will say, y'all, thank y'all. That was a good dialogue we did yesterday about Black Rob. As soon as I got off, we had over 1,000 views that day. Just getting offline, it was over 1,000 views right then and there. So thank y'all. And it was a deep discussion, calling out the bullshit. I felt a lot of people's veins cold that yesterday. But yeah, man, appreciate you too, Clan Killer. Let's get it.
Hi, I'm Joe Sorge, and I'd like to tell you about a breakthrough study coming out of the University of California that reveals some shocking facts related to our child support system. We all know that divorce is contentious, but why the long, drawn-out battles over custody? These battles pit one parent against the other and put the children in the middle. In most cases, both parents want to see their children, and except under rare circumstances, do the children not want to see both parents. So why don't the parents simply share the children? Well, you guessed it, money. If child support levels are set too low, the children may not get proper housing or food or clothing. But if child support levels are set too high, the payer may not be able to afford the payments. And under our current system, if a payer falls behind on payments, a warrant may be issued for their arrest. And if they're arrested, their driver's licenses are taken away and they're put in jail, where they can't work and make money to catch up on their payments. So it's a vicious cycle and nobody wins. We believe that this University of California study reveals for the first time the true costs of raising children and uncovers damning evidence that our current child support calculations unnecessarily fuel custody battles. So we sat down with a brilliant economist, Dr. William Comenard, the main author of this study. He's professor of economics at the University of California and once served as the chief economist of the Federal Trade Commission in Washington, D.C. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to do this.
I'm delighted.
So if it costs $500 a month to raise a child in the state of Alabama, does every parent pay $500 a month?
No, the state can set different amounts for wealthier parents than poorer parents, can set different amounts if there's 2 children or 3 children as opposed to 1 child in the household. So the states have lots of flexibility, but however they do it, they must pay attention to available data on the economic cost of raising children.
Can an economist determine what it costs to raise a child?
Yes. Suppose you have 2 households with pretty much the same income levels and the same general standards of living. And one of these households might have 1 child and another household might be childless. And then one can compare the household with a child with the household without the child and try to examine with available data, did the household with the child spend more on housing, more on food, more on clothing, more on childcare and education, more on other different elements of expenditures. Suppose it's true that a household is composed of husband and a wife and no children, and they live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and they use the 2nd bedroom as a den. Now suppose a child arrives and the den is transformed into a nursery. Let's compare the 2 circumstances. Well, given my hypothetical example, notice there is no change in housing costs. They spent the same amount on rent when the child arrives as they spent originally. They stay in the same unit. For the most part, your child lives in your household and, consumes the same collection of goods that you consume.
Do people that have their first child spend more on food?
Generally, no. They spend the same amount on food despite the presence of the first child than they spent earlier.
If you have another mouth eating, how can you possibly not spend more on food?
You probably throw away less. Suppose it was true before the presence of children, you would eat out a lot. And we all know that food out in restaurants is expensive. And when the child arrives, you eat at home more. So there may be some redistribution within the categories. I don't doubt that. But your total outlays, don't appear to be that much different in the presence of a child than before.
Dr. Comenard's approach measures what is typically called marginal cost increases. For example, an automobile does not burn much more gasoline with 2 people sitting in it than it does with just 1 person sitting in it. The cost of the extra fuel consumed would be called the marginal cost of adding a 2nd passenger. If we dig into the details of Dr. Comenard's publication, we find that the increase in food expense is, in fact, very low when children are young. But as the children age, food costs go up significantly. This might lead one to believe that child support amounts should be increased as the children age. However, Dr. Comenard's data also reveal a counterbalancing trend. Parents spend less on childcare services as the children age. While these 2 factors do not offset each other exactly, and the results vary somewhat in different economic brackets, total marginal expenses do not change substantially as children get older. How many households did you study?
We looked at over 16,000 households to do these comparisons.
Your control group had no children,
That is correct.
and then the group that you were measuring the increase in expenditures had 1, 2, 3, or more
We
children.
did it in 3 different circumstances, with 1 child, with 2 children, and with 3 children.
I asked Dr. Komenar if others had published on this topic before he and his co-authors did. He said yes, there are 2 other published methods, but neither looks at out-of-pocket marginal costs.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture annually publishes a report on the cost of raising children. And what's striking is that they use the same data that I use. We all use the same data.
But he said that the USDA method is flawed because it simply takes certain expenditure categories and divides those costs by the number of individuals in the family, including the children. This is called the average costs method, as opposed to the out-of-pocket marginal costs method. I asked him to give us an example of why his method comes up with a more realistic measure of transportation costs than the USDA method.
The household had 2 cars before the arrival of children, and now has 2 cars still. And for the most part, they say they spend the same amount of money on cars and gasoline and all of that stuff. And the cars had a back seat before, which wasn't generally used. And now it's used with the child. So there's essentially no additional transportation costs. The real transportation cost is the cost of the car seat.
He went on to explain that the USDA method is also flawed with respect to housing costs.
They said that the housing cost of the child is the cost of an additional bedroom. So if originally you had a 2-bedroom apartment, 1 used with a den, then the housing cost would be the hypothetical rental cost of a 3-bedroom apartment where you could keep your den even if that was never used. So again, that was a fiction.
We then talked about a second competing method for studying the costs of raising children, called the income equivalence, or IE method. The IE method is used by a private consulting firm that advises many of the states regarding child support levels.
They measure the welfare of a household in terms of the proportion spent on alternatively food or adult clothing. And then it tries to ask whether or not in the presence of the child, you spent less on adult clothing or food than you did otherwise.
Sound complicated? Well, that's because it is. Let us try to explain the convoluted approach taken by the IE method. The IE method assumes that fewer dollars are spent on adult food and adult clothing so that money could be made available for the needs of the children. The method then assumes that a similar shifting of expenses will occur in other cost categories as well, such as for transportation and housing costs. But the IE method does not measure those shifting expenses directly. Instead, it makes the questionable assumption that parents will give up the same proportion or percentage of their income in other expense categories as they did for adult food and clothing. So it multiplies that same percentage times the family's other expenses to compute a synthetic amount. It then assumes that a custodial parent would need this synthetic amount in order to raise children under a lifestyle that also affords that custodial parent all the things they enjoyed prior to having children.
They're trying to...
I want y'all to take heed to everything you're hearing. Now, basically, he said it don't cost extra money when you have your child. Actually, you end up spending less because you're not going to do the same things you was doing before having kids. And like he said about driving a car, okay, you got the baby in the back seat. That's just the baby in the back seat. You're still going to spend the same amount of gas. You're going to spend the same amount of washing the car and the maintenance and stuff like that. Ain't gonna be no different. But you know, when you're dealing with these baby mama terrorists, that when they say they need more money in child support because they gotta upgrade their car, they gotta upgrade they Ford or Toyota for we'll say a Lexus. They want to come out of your check so you can pay for their Lexus because they got to take their kids to school. In actuality, it should be going low. And just before we get into the next one, when he was saying that they want to try to sit back and say they need more money for the place they live and all the food they eat. And just like he said, usually when it comes to food, it actually be less, and there's less food getting thrown away in the garbage can. I just want y'all to take heed of what he's saying. He's talking from an economical standpoint. He ain't just run off the side of his mouth. He ain't going off the emotions and stuff like that. Silvers, my Facebook is Lionel Palm. I put it in the comments. Also, want to give a shout out to Doe for the $2.99 donation. He said, keep your foot on these 304's neck. Hashtag KYFOTHN. Shout out to you, my brother. Also want to give a shout out to Augustus D for the $9.99 donation. Appreciate you, my brother. So I just want y'all to keep taking heed. It might sound a little confusing, but it's not. Go back a little bit. Y'all can hear it again. Notice he's showing all these nice purses and everything. Usually when you have a child, you're supposed to kind of change your spending habits, and you're supposed to cut back on things, do more budgeting and stuff like that. These baby mama tears don't do that. They say they finna live their life to the fullest. They finna take your money and get more money out of you so they can live their best life, even if they working or not working. They're gonna live off you and keep their spending habits with buying they nails, fake hair, and cars, and spend on they simping for us too. They do that too. Let's continue.
Method. The IE method assumes that fewer dollars are spent on adult food and adult clothing so that money could be made available for the needs of the children. The method then assumes that a similar shifting of expenses will occur in other cost categories as well, such as for transportation and housing costs. But the IE method does not measure those shifting expenses directly. Instead, it makes the questionable assumption that parents will give up the same proportion or percentage of their income in other expense categories as they did for adult food and clothing. So it multiplies that same percentage times the family's other expenses to compute a synthetic amount. It then assumes that a custodial parent would need this synthetic amount in order to raise children under a lifestyle that also affords that custodial parent all the things they enjoyed prior to having children.
They're trying to assign a value to keeping the old lifestyle, even though you're living with a child and you don't follow the old lifestyle.
You may not even want the old
lifestyle. And you
lifestyle.
may not even want, that's exactly right. You may not even want the old lifestyle, but that's not taken into account in these other methods. It's a bizarre approach, I believe.
I asked Dr. Komenor for some examples of what types of hypothetical reductions in the standard of living might be computed in the IE method's synthetic amount.
Food costs are often restaurant meals out. And some people want to have very high fashion clothing and some do not. We all know that once you have a child, your whole life changes and you have focus on your children in a way that you never did before. But the methodology used in this IE method ignores that reality.
Does the IE method measure the value to parents of having a child?
No, it doesn't.
I've read that some of these IE methods actually measure the amount of tobacco and alcohol consumed by the adults.
Yes, they do. Isn't that bizarre? And yet that approach is the dominant approach used today by which child support guideline amounts are determined.
I want y'all to hear that one more time. Cigarettes, tobacco is used as spending income, child support. Let's hear it again. I'm gonna go back a little further. Notice when they showing luxury and spending habits, they showing women's shoes and women's purses and stuff. You ain't seen shit for a man. So you already know they indirectly talking about, these baby mama terrorists. Before I press play, I got to give a shout out to Michael for the $1.99 donation. Appreciate you, my brother. Super sticker. Oh, man. Want to give a shout out to our brand. Here's some BMT repellent. That's what I'm talking about. $14.99. Shout out to you, man. BMT repellent. Oh, man. More than to say, I never knew a math equation could give me nightmares. Yeah, facts. I'm just telling you. Like I say, shout out to Julius for sending this to me, man. And I told you I'm gonna be talking about so many different types of shit when it comes to child support, man. So we can know, even though, like I said, we already know, But I want y'all to hear from other aspects that they say is not true. You know, they can't call him a lie because the USDA or whatever he said, they use his methods to accumulate the shit they damn self. But let's continue.
We all know that once you have a child, your whole life changes and you have focus on your children in a way that you never did before. But the methodology used in this IE method ignores that reality.
Does the IE method measure the value to parents of having a child?
No, it doesn't.
I've read that some of these IE methods actually measure the amount of tobacco and alcohol consumed by the adults.
Yes, they do. Isn't that bizarre? And yet that approach is the dominant approach used today by which child support guideline amounts are determined.
Why?
The reason is because when the states got into this business back in the 1980s,
you already said when the states got into this business, it's a business. It's not about the best interests of the child. It's not about saving these baby mama terrorists. It's a business. So when they talk to you about child support, when people say, well, child support is a good thing, child support is for this, child support is for that. No, child support is a business. Even though they sit back and say it's about the best interest of the kid and best interest to help the custodial parents who's most likely the baby mama terrorists, it's a business. They got classes training women on how not to get persuaded to get the man off child support. It's a business. So when people come at y'all and tell y'all, no, child support is for people that don't want to take care of their kids. Nah, it's a business. Don't get me wrong. For guys who plan them kids and then for some reason he say, fuck them kids and they happen to be on child support, okay, he on child support. But you have the majority of fathers who was married, who they quote unquote did it the right way, got divorced to get every other weekend or just alienated, and he's paying $1,100 a month, $500 a month, $2,000 a month, $5,000 a month because it's a business. The more they take, the more they make. People need to get the mindset of stop thinking that child support is a benefit for the child. It's not. But these baby mama terrorists gonna say it's a benefit for the child because anything for they get their hand in that bag. So they don't give a damn what the government daddy doing. As long as they getting their piece, as long as they getting what they want, as long as they aid the system to set them up for failure, that's all they care about. That's it. But when people come at y'all and you say, man, this is a piece of shit, it's crooked, blah, 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 and they tell you that this shit is the best thing ever, that's because they're stupid, they're simping forces, and they baby mama terrorist supporters. Because if they really knew the behind the scenes, this background of this state, I call it government daddy, it's all about the money. Why you think the mother gets 85% of custody versus the 15% that don't get custody automatically? And how many of y'all men who got the baby mama terrorists on child support don't even see a dime? And if you go there and say she ain't been paying her child support, she don't get her license took. Hell, she ain't even got to show up to the motherfucker. She don't lose her driver's license. She don't lose her gun card. She don't lose no passport. She don't even get it held in contempt. They tell y'all it is what it is. They don't even make a big deal about it. But when it's the man, you better pay what you weigh. You lose your livelihood. You go to jail. Lose your license. Lose your hunting license, your fishing license, your passport, your first stimulus check, and everything else. But yet, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But like he just said, business, when they started this business. And y'all can also thank good old Bill Clinton when he came out with the Deadbeat Act. That was a business move. That wasn't to help so-called quote-unquote deadbeat men. That was a business move to benefit him and this simp-ass government. And I hope y'all finally get the mindset to realize government daddy is not for you men. It's not. They don't give a fuck about you. Hell, they don't even give a fuck about the baby mama terrorists, but that's their aid assist. They need that. As long as you got these baby mama terrorists around, It's always gonna be like this. They always gonna make that $51 billion. It's not about the child. You might got a few judges that's about what's right and all that, but the majority is not about. The majority of these judges is not about that, not at all. Shout out to Gail Lockett who coming in. She was over there working with the lead attorney. Shout out to him. I wasn't even gonna bother you, but I appreciate you coming over. That's the DA, and now we got 102. We got 103 watching. We got 73 likes. Let's get them likes up. We close. Let's get them likes up. Let's get these likes up. Also, want to give a shout out to Modak44 for the $9.99 donation. He said, if all men for just 1 month stop working and let nature take its course, example, electric company, oil, mining, construction, etc., that's when real changes starts. But that's too much, I guess. Facts. And here's another thing with that. I tell people, even come with all this racist shit that's been going on, you want to tear up the buildings and tear up the neighborhoods and shit like that, it's stupid as fuck. If you really want to make change, what you do is hurt their pockets. You hurt the government's pockets. You hurt that city's pockets. You hurt that state's pockets. You get whatever you want. When you have that mindset to stop shopping and stop buying at these different establishments and stop spending your money, then you can make change. But you going up tearing up some buildings and tearing up, Target and all that shit for them to use their insurance money and go move to a suburb and stay away from you dumb niggas, you did them a favor. They don't lose. You lose. So now your grandma can't walk up the street a block away and get her medicine. She got to go all the way to the south suburbs with your dumb ass. So that's why I say, if you're going to do some shit, do it right. You hurt the pockets. That's how you shut down the government. You hurt their pockets. Now, I ain't saying that you don't try to overthrow a government, because that can't happen. That is in the Constitution. But if you really want to fuck up this government, we will have to fuck with their pockets, because it's a business deal. They are businessmen. They simp ass businessmen. And this man just said they started their business. But yet, when you tell people this, they say you dumb, deadbeat, don't know what you're talking about, and everything else. So it is what it is. But I want y'all to hear that again. It's a business. When they started this fucking business, give a shout out. Gotta give a shout out to my man Sergeant Tice before I press play for the $10 donation. When my daughter graduated high school, me and her mom went to family court so I can get my name on her birth certificate, so I can sign over my post 911 GI Bill for college. Child support tried to force my baby mama child support on me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a business. It's a business. They didn't do that because this brother's a deadbeat. This brother don't want to be a father. This brother's running from his responsibilities. They try to do it because they get a piece of the action. They get a piece of child support that you pay. The judges get a piece of it. It goes to their pension. The lawyers, the judges, the clerks, all the motherfuckers work for this system. The sheriffs, they all get a piece of the action. That's why it's now a $51 billion crime bill. So don't let nobody send you off saying the child support is for the best interest of the child and all that bullshit. Don't fall for that shit. Shout out to K Business Podcast. Shout out to you tuning in. Let's continue.
Why?
The reason is because when the states got into this business back in the 1980s, there was no data on the child expenditures. There were data on household expenditures. And so they needed to find a way to go from available data for the household to that which it applies to the child.
Did the IE method look at single parents with children?
No, they did not. They only looked at married households.
What about?
I want y'all to hear that again, and I'm going to dissect that shit. He asked them, did they go under single household when they did this statistic? No, they did two-parent households.
Did the IE method look at single parents with children?
No, they did not. They only looked at married households.
What about the USDA method? Did they?
Now, why y'all think they didn't look at the single household, single motherism, or even single fathers household? They looked at the married couple households. And also, the two-parent household, well, in my opinion, they went off the couples versus the single motherism, is because when child support first started, it was for married white women. You had to be married to get child support. You couldn't be a single mother to get child support. So imagine now how this system changed, where they got more into this lucrative business where anybody can go on child support regardless if the man in the household or not, if the man live in the same household or not, if the man's if the man's still in the military, if he's in the military or not, if he's fighting in Iraq or not. I don't know, but y'all definitely need to pay attention. Shout out to Sergeant Tyson. It came up, bro. I didn't see it. I appreciate you saying something. I told you I wasn't paying attention. My bad. Shout out to Sergeant Tyson for the $5 donation. He sent that earlier. First time on child support, my son was getting $170 weekly. His mom spent the money on herself and on her two other daughters whose fathers are deadbeats and gone. I want y'all to hear this again. First time on child support, my son was getting $170 weekly. His mom spent the money on herself and her two other daughters whose fathers are deadbeats and gone. Yeah, see, when you love your child, you want to be a father and you want to be in your child's life. You the one that's going to suffer. The ones that don't give a fuck about their kids, they say, fuck them kids. I don't give a fuck about you or the kids. And they go fly to the sunset. They don't put them on child support. It ain't worth it because they probably ain't working or they not working, doing the damn thing, but they'll put that good father on child support and take your child support and spend it on the whole household. And this motherfucking bitch ain't even working. And even if she is working, she'll still spend it on the whole household or spend on some other dude or anything else. You know, that you cannot make this shit up. Shout out to you, my brother. You cannot make this shit up. Got to give a shout out to Red Sing the Blues for the $2 donation. And he says, donation, appreciate you. You can't make this shit up.
Look at single parents?
Yes, they did. They did look at single parents as well as to that which it applies to the child.
Did the IE method look at single parents with children?
No, they did not. They only looked at married households.
What about the USDA method? Did they look at single parents?
Yes, they did. They did look at single parents as well as married parents.
And did you look at single parents?
Yes, I did.
Because one could argue that the single parent with a child is the more relevant economic situation than the married or the couple with or without children.
That's exactly right. The cost of raising a child or children in a single-headed household are slightly greater than on average than those in a married household.
You're basically saying that people spend less on children than these other methods estimate they spend on children.
Yes, substantially less. And the reason is because our method is limited to out-of-pocket expenditures. You know, direct
real money.
Real money. What the other methods do is attribute expenditures to children which are not made out of pocket. It's a fiction.
Well, let's take a look at the cost.
He said it's a fiction. He said it's a fiction, man. I want y'all to hear it again. He said it's a fiction.
Expenditures. You know, direct
real money.
Real money. What the other methods do is attribute expenditures to children which are not made out of pocket. It's a fiction.
Well, let's take a look at the costs estimated by the IE and USDA methods and compare them to the costs measured by Dr. Komenor's method. For married households, the IE method overestimated the cost of raising a child by about 200%, and the USDA method overestimated the cost by roughly 300%. The overestimates were even more extreme for single-parent households. While the IE method did not even look at single-parent households, the USDA method overestimated expenses by over 300% for low-income households and over 400% for mid to high-income households. These overestimates have been misleading the states into setting child support awards that are too high.
I want y'all to hear this one more time. I'm gonna back it up. I want y'all to hear that one more time. They do this shit on purpose, man. And want to give a shout out to Julius Mays. Julius Mays is the ones who sent me this video link. Like I say, he sent it a couple weeks ago. $5 donation. Bruh, this is gonna open a lot of people's eyes. Facts. It's gonna open a lot of people's eyes. And I appreciate you sending it to me.
Costs measured
Thank
by
you.
Dr. Komenor's method. For married households, the IE method overestimated the cost of raising a child by about 200%, and the USDA method overestimated the cost by roughly 300%.
So, IE, which makes more sense, 220%, but the USDA, that's government daddy, 353%. And this for somebody who's making $36,727. Now, when it comes to which one of let me see. If you notice though, every last one of them is higher, especially this over here. Seems like the lower the money, like the more you pay. But and over here for the 76,000, 248% versus the 335%. Make it for the 168,000 is 186% to big jump 273%.
The overestimates were even more extreme for single-parent households, while the IE method did not even look at single.
Now look how they do the single-parent household. So the first one was the couples. Look how they do the single-parent household. You know, these baby mama tears that choose single motherism. 100% to 358%. 100%, 412%. They reap more benefits off these baby mama tears who choose single motherism. That's why a lot of you men are paying $1,200 a month for one child, $1,000, $800. Some paying more than that because they reap the benefit on these baby mama tears that choose single motherism. And that's why if they getting 358% of increase from their income but doing nothing, of course they're going to keep you out the picture. Of course they're going to alienate you. Of course you're only going to get them for the weekend if you get that. Of course you're going to be labeled that deadbeat while they take your money and they holler independent and they ain't do shit. 412% for somebody making this. That's crazy. Silver said, I think child support, not much like everything else the government has in place, is another way for the man to keep in hands in our pockets and nose in our business. Facts. Facts. Let's just hear it one more time. You know, people that say this, you know, child support is for the kids and it's for deadbeats and all that shit.
For married households, the IE method overestimated the cost of raising a child by about 200%, and the USDA method overestimated the cost by roughly 300%. The overestimates were even more extreme for single-parent households. While the IE method did not even look at single-parent households, the USDA method overestimated expenses by over 300% for low-income households and over 400% for mid to high.
Low-income households. Low-income households. You know, the Section 8, the vouchers, WIC, Link, all them EBT credit motherfuckers. You heard that? Want y'all hear it again.
And the USDA method overestimated the cost by roughly 300%. The overestimates were even more extreme for single-parent households. While the IE method did not even look at single-parent households, the USDA method overestimated expenses by over 300% for low-income households and over 400% for mid to high-income households. These overestimates have been misleading the states into setting child support awards that are too high.
What y'all need to start doing when y'all talk to people, send them this link. You ain't got to send no other link. Send them this link and say, hey, check this shit out. since he want to talk shit. Look at this. Look at this. This don't make no damn sense.
By somewhere between $400 and $800 per month per child. Over the course of a child's dependency, that could amount to nearly $100,000 per child of unsupported costs for low-income families and nearly $200,000 per child of unsupported costs for middle-income families. This begs the question of whether the $120 billion of unpaid child support in the United States today is due to parents' unwillingness to make child support payments, or are the amounts so high that they cannot afford to make them?
I believe it's this answer number 2 that he just said. A lot of them can't afford to pay it. Gotta give a shout out to Sergeant Tyson for the $5 donation once again. My BMT lied to Section 8 of how much she makes. $25,000 yearly when she makes $90,000, living rent-free in a 4-bedroom house, and still complains to child support for more money. Gotta do it one more time. Y'all, you can't make this shit up. She lied to Section 8 about making $25,000 a year, and she actually make $90,000. Shout out to United Fitness for the $100 donation. I appreciate you. Y'all know who it is, right? If y'all don't know who it is, we're going to read it to you. My BM2 ain't getting 1 peso out of me. You know who it is, all the way from Mexico. PS 100 MXN is $5 in US dollars. Shout out to my man, Roger. Shout out to you, my brother. Now, I want y'all to hear that again. And he told the truth. So why when people be talking about the guy ain't paying child support because he just don't want to take care of his kids, he don't want to do shit, the majority of fathers who are not paying their child support because they cannot pay it. They struggling. All the fucking interest and all that shit. Look at Black Rob. He was paying the child support, letting it kick his ass, setting him up for failure, getting sick, struggling. But then you got people doing videos saying he wanted to be a high value man. He was saying he was a high value man and he didn't want to be a father. But like I said, you don't pay your child support, even if you lose your job, COVID or whatever. You going to jail, you're a deadbeat, you're a lowlife. You might have that one judge that might give you a second chance, say you got 30 days to pay $5,000. But if you don't have that money, you're going to jail. That's considered a nice judge. Because they don't care about your struggle and your understanding. Your job is to pay that child support because the government daddy want they cut. They don't give a damn about that woman getting it. But in order for them to get it, she got to get it. That's how that go. I want y'all to hear it again. And we're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna send a link in the box.
Costs for middle
we're gonna talk
families.
about it.
This begs the question of whether the $120 billion of unpaid child support in the United States today is due to parents' unwillingness to make child support payments, or are the amounts so high that they cannot afford to make them? Essentially, there's a profit in being a custodial parent.
That's exactly.
You heard what he said. It's a profit to be a custodial parent. And who always running there asking for sole custody or primary custody? I ain't heard no baby mama terrorists ever come in there and say, I want equal parenting time. Because that's the best interest for our kids. The only time they want equal parenting time, if the father got custody, if the father got primary custody, if the father got sole custody. That's the only time they may ask for equal parenting time. They is not gonna ask for equal parenting time thinking about the best interests of the child. They're gonna ask for sole custody or primary custody. And even if they do get it, they still alienate you out the picture. You can't even get them on the weekend. And then that's when they use that to control you. That's when they use that to get you thinking that you're gonna pay more money, even though you're paying $1,000 as it is, but they want you to pay an extra $500 for whatever she say. And if you don't pay it, you can't see your kids. This is why I tell y'all, if it comes to that point, wash your hands and move on. This is why I say keep your veins cold, because these motherfuckers, and that's what they are, motherfuckers, don't give a shit about that child. These baby mama tears run to that courtroom to take that child and use him as a pawn, a shield, a benefit, a grab bag, a torture, whatever the fuck. That's what they use them for. It's a profit to be a custodial parent. It ain't a profit for a man to be a custodial parent because he ain't getting no child support from that baby mama terrorist, most likely. And if they don't pay for it, they won't get penalized. But it's a benefit to these baby mama terrorists, especially if they low income and you making great money and she don't work. She live off government daddy already. This is why I say we have to change the laws in our mind and don't deal with pieces of shit like that. This is why we got to interrogate the females that we deal with, talk to, have sex with, want to be married to, want to be in a relationship with. You have to. Because if we don't change the laws in our mind, then you'll be one of these statistics talking about you 120 billion in the hole because you can't afford to pay for it. This is why I tell y'all again, and I always repeat myself, we have to change the laws in our mind. We have to take heed of what we see, what we learning, because you can't make excuses. Oh, he don't know what he's talking about. Oh, this was 5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago. 5 years ago. It's 2021. So 5 years ago, what's that, 2017? I just started going through my child support in 2018. Well, it was official at 19. So that's what I'm saying. This shit is real. This shit been going on since forever. When they start doing the fuckery and the bullshit. And this is why I'm putting all this shit out here. Y'all have to take heed of this shit. Show your sons, show your daughters, so they don't be in this bullshit. Show your god kids, show the people you coach and mentor. Show other brothers that want to know and don't know. Show the ones that don't have kids. The custodial parent of these baby mama tears get the most benefits along with government daddy. So when people want to say, oh, you just run off your emotion, oh, you just a lie. Send this link. Shout out to Sergeant Tyson for the $2 donation. Get a passport, head for Mexico, leave for good. I'm telling everybody, get a passport, because the way this shit going on, you might have to. You never know. And I ain't just talking about child support. Want to give a shout out to Christopher here for the $5 donation. Big ups to you, Mr. Palmer. We got to keep exposing these baby mama terrorists and simping forces. Yeah, and I'm going to also add on government daddy, which is they the king of kings of simping forces. Shout out to you, my brother. Appreciate you. Want to give a shout out to MPI. I had one guy tell me he got full custody of his son, but in exchange, he couldn't put the mother on child support. I ain't gonna lie. If I had to make that deal, I'd have did it too. But that just go to show it wasn't about the child, it was about the money. That's the reality. These baby mama tears are not about the child, it's just a benefit. It's just a benefit, bro. You know, I respect him because most guys who get custody of their kids don't even want the child support. It's just the principle. You know what I'm saying? But these baby mama tears, they want the child support, they want control, they want sole custody and everything else. They don't give a fuck about that kid. Shout out Perfect Blackness for checking in. They don't give a fuck about their kid, man. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. They don't. And he said a couple of things. Man, I appreciate y'all. We got 104 likes, 109 people in here. I just need 5 more likes, man. And I love y'all forever. Appreciate y'all for that, though. But look, the one who benefits is the one who have custody. And in the stats, who have more custody? Men or women? Women. They get 85% of custody versus the 15% being non-custodial parents. But you got all these organizations that's talking about his and hers going through child support and alienation. False. And I'm not going to entertain that lie. So I get more women to come on my platform, get more likes and money and notoriety. Fuck that. Men are going through it 85% of the time. It's not 50-50. It's not even 60-40. So I'm not going to sit back with that backward ass shit trying to tickle somebody's chin. The reality is the benefit for government daddies, these baby mama terrorists that get sole custody or primary custody and giving the dad no time or alienation, however you want to call it, the more time that she has, the more money they take from you. So if she got sole custody and all you get is 4 hours of visitation under supervision, you paying an arm and a leg just to spend that time. And that's why I tell y'all, if it comes to that standpoint where you struggling and suffering and hurting, the kids manipulating all that shit, disrespecting you and everybody treating you like shit, and all you trying to do is be a father, wash your hands, move on. Pay that child support, move on. Keep your veins cold, move the fuck on. Because it's not worth it. You don't want to be set up for failure. Now, it's funny they put the woman over here going in the hole, but the reality is it should have been the other way around. He should have been right here, and she should have been over there with the 2 kids and with all the money gaining, but I guess they want to tickle somebody's chin. I ain't tickling no bitch chin. So, like I said, child support is a business. It's not about the most best fit. It's not about the most benefit. It's a business for government daddy to aid assist these baby mama terrorists. Let's continue.
To make child support payments, or are the amounts so high that they cannot afford to make them? Essentially, there's a profit in being a custodial parent.
That's exactly right. That's what the current child support system does.
Do you think that this profit factor that exists in the guidelines now can cause non-optimal behavior?
For the child support system to work effectively, it must have the agreement of both parents, not only the recipient, but the payer. And the payers recognize that the amount of money that they're obligated to pay exceeds the actual expenditures on the child. They know that.
I want y'all to hear this again. I want y'all to hear it one more time. This ain't come from my mouth. I'm not running off my emotions. This is what he said. When he said that the payer that's paying know it's some bullshit. Just like everybody in here and everybody outside the world that says some bullshit, but they say you whining, you complaining, you're deadbeat, you don't want to be a father. And what did old girl say about the Black Rob? She said, if you complain about child support, you talking about child support, that means you don't want to be a father. Don't fall for that shame and tactic ass shit. That's why I tell y'all stories. Fuck what they say. Because they're always going to say anything you say against child support, they're going to say you the worst man in the world. And if you're a woman saying you're against child support and you support men, they're going to say you the worst of the worst because you're supposed to side with them and stick to code. I want y'all to hear it again.
Recognize.
Do you think that this profit factor that exists in the guidelines now can cause non-optimal behavior?
For the child support system to work effectively, it must have the agreement of both parents, not only the recipient, but the payer. And the payers recognize that the amount of money that they're obligated to pay exceeds the actual expenditures on the child. They know that. They live it.
Now, when do a father and a baby mama terrorist come to a common ground? He said that both parents should agree. It never happens. The only time that happens when the father agree with the child support is when the father take himself and put himself on child support. That's the only time. And that's because he say he don't want to deal with her. He rather just let them take it out of his check and deal with it that way. Most times it goes good for him as far as the money part. But then a lot of times it still set him up for failure. Because people say, well, if you go to court and you take yourself on child support, the judge will look at you as you trying to do the right thing. Bullshit. Bullshit. Don't get me wrong. It helped guys who did it because now all of a sudden the woman can't up and move and do certain things. So, but for the most part, it's not 100% benefit, man. But, oh yeah, Gail and Silver, you'll pick me if you support men and you're against the bullshit, you for what's right. Sivers even said, I know women on child support who on child support don't even use the money on their child. Not all, but some. Yeah, no, it's the majority of them. It ain't all. I ain't gonna say all. No, I ain't gonna say all. I know some mothers who got a man on child support that do take care of their kids, and they didn't choose this route. I agree, but the majority of these motherfuckers are baby mama terrorists, and that's what they are. That's what they are. Shout out to January Man, $5 donation. He said for sharing well-needed information. Shout out to you, my brother. Also want to give a shout out to Modak44 once again for the $4.99 donation. The worst part of all this, women have abandoned and betrayed us. They abandoned us and ran to the people they call the Petrarchi. I might be saying it wrong. Forgive me. But I know you talking about government daddy. Cruel. Forgive me. You know, I'm a dumb nigga off Cottage Grove. Forgive me. Shout out to you though, bro. I call it anarchy. But let's finish. We got a couple more seconds, about a minute and 10 seconds. And even this dude knows some bullshit. Everybody knows some bullshit, but that's just the way it is. That's what they tell you.
Not only the recipient, but the payer. And the payers recognize that the amount of money that they're obligated to pay exceeds the actual expenditures on the child. They know that. They live it. And so what the payers are funding is not merely the cost of raising their children, but also a financial asset which benefits the recipient. And of course, that creates discord between the parents.
I want y'all to hear that part again. It benefits. I told you, benefits government daddy. It benefits the baby mama terrorists. And it sets a father up for failure. Siri, just click on this link right here. You ain't got to call. Just click on the link right here, and you'll be in the background. Jason in the background now, and then I'm going to let y'all come in as soon as it's over, and we can talk about this. Just click the link. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to call.
The money that they're obligated to pay exceeds.
We're going to go back a little further.
That's exactly right. That's what the current
To make child support payments, or are the amounts so high that they cannot afford to make them? Essentially, there's a profit in being a custodial parent.
That's exactly right. That's what the current child support system does.
Do you think that this profit factor that exists in the guidelines now can cause non-optimal behavior?
For the child support system to work effectively, it must have the agreement of both parents, not only the recipient, but the payer. And the payers recognize that the amount of money that they're obligated to pay exceeds the actual expenditures on the child. They know that. They live it. And so what the payers are funding is not merely the cost of raising their children, but also a financial asset which benefits the recipient. And of course, that creates discord between the parents. The payer objects, and the recipient feels entitled to it, which would...
Now, he's saying the same thing that we've been saying for years, and what I've been saying on this platform. I wish he would have told the truth. Whoever did the graph and made it the other way around is not the man with the 2 kids with the money going up to the L on his behalf. It's him in the hole, and she with the 2 kids, because the majority of these baby mama terrorists get custody 85% of the time. So don't fall for the graphic, but it's true for what he's saying, the benefit and setting the man up for failure. But yeah, that I disagree with, because he got the woman in the hole and all that shit. Nah.
But also a financial asset which benefits the recipient.
Financial asset.
That creates discord between the parents. The payer objects, and the recipient feels entitled to it.
How many of y'all dealing with a baby mama terrorist that feel they're entitled to take your money and spend on other niggas, spend on kids that ain't yours, spend on the whole household while she sit back and do nothing but live off you? And even if she is working a job, she still take your money and misuse it and want more money from you out of your pocket, a gift. That's why I tell y'all, pay that child support, don't give them no extra. And if you want to spend money, you spend money on your kids when you get them. If you don't get them, then just pay that child support. Because why would you want to keep paying the devil more money? It's like you giving her credit and you paying her for doing a good job when she's doing a fucked up job as it is anyway. Setting a kid up for failure. Why? You know, Morton says, woohoo, 123 likes. And yes, it is. I appreciate y'all. Got 124 likes. I appreciate y'all to the fullest. But let me finish up, because I got a couple people in the background now.
Which would not be true if the child support award amounts truly reflected the out-of-pocket costs of raising children.
And is there a venue where this discord gets played out?
In the courts, in divorce courts.
This is one of the most contentious areas of family law, and the unfortunate truth is that children are paying the price for a flawed system. If you would like...
You heard what he said? The children are paying a price for this fraud system. That's why I tell y'all, it's not about the best interest of the kid. It's only about that $51 billion crime bill, the baby mama Terrence reaping the benefits, aid and assist government daddy. So when people tell y'all that bullshit about it's about the best interest of the kids and about deadbeat men and all that shit, don't fall for that bullshit. Just send them the link. Just send them the link and tell them to just pay attention. You know they're gonna come with an excuse, but. Nah, this is facts right here. Let's hear this last part before I take this out and let people come in.
This is one of the most contentious areas of family law, and the unfortunate truth is that children are paying the price for a flawed system. If you would like to see your state review its child support guidelines, please contact your state legislators and let them know that children should not be used as pawns in an economic battle involving their parents and their lawyers. I hope that with your help, we can work toward reducing the conflicts inherent in our family court system. I'm Joe Sorge. Thank you for watching.
Don't ever ask me again, why do I say fuck child support? Don't you ever in your motherfucking lives ask me, why do I say fuck child support? Even though y'all motherfuckers sit back and say, deadbeat, running for child support. He don't want to be a father. He sleep on a couch. He ain't got a crib. Ain't worth shit. Ain't got shit. But you still cannot call me a motherfucking liar. Now, if this don't show you the truth about child support, even though there's many truth that's been told a long time ago, but if this don't show you nothing, then evidently you don't give a fuck about that child, and all you care about is looking out for government daddy. Fuck all y'all. What's up, everybody?
What it do? What it do? What it do?
Man, shit, it's funny. Jason came in first. What's up, Jason, man? What's your thoughts on this shit, man?
Yo, man, this shit, we gotta stand up for ourselves. We being treated like animals.
Oh,
honestly, that what I suggest the brothers do is have some sexual discipline. We need to put our shit on strike.
Exactly.
We need to call a national strike against all races of them not getting a D until they act right. Because they're acting like, and I'm sorry, the black community, we shouldn't be letting these bitches tell us we gotta have money just to date these bitches. They having kids by the lust of us, and then they take the ones that's working money to finance the kids that ain't yours. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because I've seen this done. Now, remember I told you about my mother, right? Yeah, she didn't take the man to child support, but she was getting $3,000 in SSI checks for kids that did not have disabilities. And that stays on your record for life. You know what I'm saying? And we end up, being able to get past that point because we was able to prove that we wasn't disabled. But, when women have so much opportunity to the point where they oppress us and become our fucking slave master. You know what I'm saying? They treat us like animals. If you look at a dog, he have the baby, he go away. No strings attached. But with the woman, they want to take our money and they still want their fucking freedom. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you something. When you mentioned that, you left one thing out. They're not only gonna go on vacations and shit with the money, but they're gonna go splurge the money on things like drugs, alcohol, because he didn't even mention that. Now, I understand he's on TV, but most of these females are buying more drugs and alcohol and cigarettes.
Well, actually, in the beginning,
some of them don't even smoke cigarettes.
That's true, but in the beginning, they said they look at the tobacco.
That's why you can't trust. That's why I was gonna say
They
Mr.
did.
Palmer,
In the beginning, they
one
said
thing,
alcohol and
they got,
cigarettes.
one thing black people got to do, and they got to get past. Fuck that study shit. Some of that study shit is true, but we got a lot to add to that study shit because
Oh,
we
of
in the
course.
street.
Of
We on
course.
the grassroots. We got that study don't mean shit to what we see. It's
Exactly.
way more than what that study's saying.
Oh, of
You
course.
know what
Of
I'm saying?
course.
But most black people they brainwash and they look at the study and say, "Oh well, I don't see any study done on it." Don't let them brainwash you with that shit. Your eye, don't let your eyes fool you. Your eyes see what it sees.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You
So don't
saw
let that
when
fool
they
you.
you saw when they put the man as him reaping the benefits with the 2 kids. I'm like, that's a lie. They ain't
And
like that. Fuck out of here.
yeah, and
It's
Mr.
nowhere
Palmer,
real. They ain't
Mr.
never
Palmer,
like that.
brother Palmer, I'm telling you, they treating us like animals out here.
Of
You know
course.
why? Because when you look at it, a kitten, or if you ever had a cat or a dog that had babies, the father usually is not there, but the mother's not worried about that. Which she's not worried about you not being there. The proof is in the pudding. They don't care about us being there. They only care about when that money's coming. They don't give a fuck about us being there. That's all they want. They want those dollars is everything. You know what I'm saying? Even though one of those dollars got a fucking pedophile that ran around the country with a black 11-year-old girl and he's on a dollar bill, but they don't even look at that because they care about money more than their own morals. So I don't want to hear that, oh, black woman shit empowerment, because you ain't even empowering the black woman. You try to be everything else but the black woman. So that's why you're so greedy. You're so greedy because you envy the white woman, but guess what? The white woman to take up poor white trash husband. Bitch, you asking for more what she asked for. And she's more royal than you. You know what I'm saying?
You can't make
But
this shit up, man. You cannot make
but
this shit
but
up.
but they don't and at least the white woman gonna let the fucking kids go see the father majority of the times. But
Nah,
it's the black
hey, let me
women
keep it real
that
with you, bro.
don't give a fuck.
Hey, let me keep it real with you, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I thought the same thing when I came
Yeah,
out
but
with on Facebook.
Mr. Palmer, you
Uh-huh.
gotta look at it. These white men are talking about, they're not talking about the time that they don't spend. They talking about like maybe a basketball game might come up because some white people they are doing so much work because they are so much privileged to getting so much jobs, getting you know up to top position at their job that they have to be there. You know what I'm saying? So let's not get that mixed up because that is a factor. And what these white women would do when this white man have worked all this time because he's working 10 times harder than us because he got access.
Hey,
So
brother, I
he's
gotta
gonna.
call bullshit
So
on
he
that one, man. We ain't gonna give the white man that much credit.
Hey, nah, what I'm saying,
no,
hey, what I'm
fuck
telling
that.
y'all, what I'm telling
No, the
y'all,
white man gets a job. I've actually spoken to a white man that told me that, and he was actually real with me. He said, "Yeah, I could go into a job and get it before you," and
he
he
could,
was actually right about that shit.
he could. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to white men, it's more white men that's
No, yeah, but
alienated
I'm just saying,
black men.
like, but Miss Paul, I'm just saying, like, they might really be busy, but then when they got the time to see their kids, that's when she'll say, "Oh, she don't got time to bring the kids around," or she make up some other excuse. "Oh, I got to go to work." Like it's always excuses with any woman, but some men they need to see their kids on their schedule. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Well, them
We
might be
need.
the ones that go in and out. We talking about, but these Karen baby mama tears are worse than a black queen baby mama. These fake black queen baby mama tears, bro.
Yeah, because they try to go after what they try to do is they try to go after our what they try to do is go after our money, and then every other woman honestly learned from the black woman because she was the first one doing it, taking her baby father's child support, doing all this bullshit. And every other woman got hit to it. It's like, wait a minute, I can go out there and have fun and get paid. Shit, I might as well do it. You know what I'm saying? So this like, and black women don't understand everything that they do. Someone else is gonna do it right after them, and they don't understand that we the type of men that no other woman has in the world, because we when we love a woman, we love hard, but
Bro,
these bitches end up fucking it up. They end up fucking it up because I was in a marriage. They end up fucking it up, you know, withholding certain things that we need to focus, and then they'll sit up there, make our life a living hell in the house to the point where we can't be a full functional family. And now child support comes not even a day after you left the house, you're paying child support. The first day you say that you don't want to be there, oh, her ass is at the court. If you don't return overnight, if you're not in that bed, by the time she wake up in the morning, she's going to be at that child support office, trying to get child support because she know you're serious.
hey,
If you
this
don't come back that first night, I think it's fucked up because as a married man, why the fuck should she be able to get child support without a divorce?
but check it out. This I want you to know, man. I'm telling you from my research, I was talking the same talk, man. It's the black man. You heard the black man, this. When I started to fuck child support on Facebook and start building the platform, I had more white men coming on my page than black
I
folk.
understand. Yeah,
No,
I understand a lot of
right.
white
But
men.
check this out. Check
Right,
this
right. That's
out.
always the case. You know, Miss Palmer, that's always going to be the case because a lot of brothers don't want to stand up and say, let me stand on my square and form an army, because this shit's affecting me too. Plus, I probably got a felony. I definitely need to be on the front lines. You
But that's what
know,
I'm saying.
you got,
This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is why I told y'all when I came over to YouTube that we as all men need to come together as one accord. You got to remember, child support was here to protect the married white woman. We weren't going
yes,
to that back in the day. So to say that it's more black women put men on child support, no, it's white women. They the worst baby mama tears ever. I just from doing my research, they the worst baby mama tears ever. The only difference, in my opinion, between a white baby mama tears and a black one, the white baby mama tears gonna try to be like Mary Poppins and not be seen. They don't want to be out in the public known as being a wicked witch of the West. Whereas you got these black ass fake queens, baby mama tears. They don't give a shit. They don't care if they film. They don't care if you recorded them. They don't care
because
who.
they trying to
They don't give a fuck.
because they
And I
they
want you.
try because they want to be so much like the white woman.
That's
They don't
true.
understand they don't
That's true.
understand they winning. They don't understand the black woman don't understand she's winning and she's giving up her winnings for losses.
Right. And you're right. But what I'm telling you is when it comes to child support, white men are suffering the worst. They pay the most, they more alienated, they commit the most suicides. I want you to read what this brother posted on the
Oh yeah.
YouTube.
Oh no, I know they commit the most suicides. I seen that study.
Right. But he just
They
said,
commit the most suicides. They rather not live.
I
But
got it.
and
I got it.
and
But
it
what
makes sense because
this
it
this
makes
brother
sense
just
because
said
they're
he had to
making
move out
more
the
money.
country. This brother just said he had to move out the country. He said, yeah, I'm so privileged that I had the pressure of parental alienation for almost 10 years and was forced to move out the country. Thanks. That's my white privilege working for me, I guess. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh,
A lot of white men are set up for failure more than us. Now, we the face of deadbeat and child support because that's how the society and that's how the media portray. But when it's all said and done, white men go through way more than we do. They pay
yeah,
more.
you're right. Because
Right.
like propaganda is a motherfucker.
Right. So yeah, these black baby mama terrorists, yeah, they number two. But the worst ones, the Karens, bro. And that's why I realized when I did the
Yeah,
platform.
but they do us the worst. But the black mama terrorists do us the worst.
Well, they do us the worst. We black. So yeah, they gonna do us the worst. But like I said, but when it come to child support, it was created to help the married white woman. It wasn't for black people. We didn't have them
Yeah,
problems back then.
just like feminism. Just like feminism.
Right.
We never stopped a woman from working. They had no reason to join, but they joined it anyway because they wanted to be down. Because they honestly they want to be better than the white woman, but they can't be better. They want to be close to her.
Of course.
That's why they sit up there and they don't understand. Every time they wear that weave and that blonde and that yellow and whatever the fuck they put in their hair, and this long and this not theirs, they don't understand. Those are signs of a sickness that, because the reason why I call it a sickness, because they really they would tell you, I'm not trying to be like a white woman with a full hair willow full of white women here looking. They would look Eurocentric and sit up there argue with you talking about they proud to be black. How can you be proud to be black when you trying to look like somebody you ain't?
Hey, I hope I'm saying his name right. Otakal, the one who said he had to lead the country. I just put the link there. If you can, click on it here. I want to holler for him if you can. Just click the link. Hey, Roger, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, brother? Hey, I got a couple of points.
What's
Firstly,
up?
I want to talk about that putting yourself voluntarily on child support. Let
I
me tell you
wouldn't do
something.
it.
When I first going through this shit, I tried it. But let me tell you this. I used to work as a car dealer. I had a auction license in Florida. When somebody tells you, one of the things that we always tell people, oh, don't worry about it. It's going to be a volunteer repossession. Ain't no such thing as a volunteer repossession. It's a repossession. The only reason why they tell you that is because we don't want to chase you down, pay a repo man, look up your address. That shit costs money. So they give you this goofy shit as go put yourself in child support because they don't want to do the work. They're like, come on, man, just walk inside here and feed yourself to the wolves. We don't want to go out here and hunt you down. So stop with all that nonsense. Make them work for it. If they're going to put your child support, goddamn it, you're going to work for this check. I ain't going to go inside that office and you're going to just walk myself, here go my money. No, that's not how it's going to go down. So don't ever do that volunteer child support nonsense. Make them work for it.
Right. That don't make you a better dude. And you still a piece of shit deadbeat. Doesn't matter.
Right. And the second thing I was going to hit, he said about child support works when you have the agreement of both parents. What he's really trying to say, if you look at your child support payments or your child support paperwork or your divorce paperwork where you was hashing out how the kids are going to be shared, when it says the signature line, it says obligator. It says obligator. It says meaning you are obligating yourself to pay this debt. That's what it means. So that's why it doesn't say signature. It says obligator. You're going to see that time and time and time again. Trust me, when I was doing my divorce papers, was about 500 papers. And every time where it says signature, it didn't say signature. It says obligator, meaning you are obligating yourself to pay this child support. Now, I'm not trying to give you no legalese argument, but that's what he meant by that. You have to obligate yourself to that debt because they just literally create that shit out of nowhere. Poof. Yo.
And that's the thing, and that's what I fucked up at. When you sign them papers, you don't know what you sign when it's all said and done. They set you up. And when you go to jail for unpaid child support, they say they didn't get you for not paying the child support. They got you because you reneged on a contract agreement that you signed.
Correct.
And that's when you fuck up. That's why I fucked up at. That's why I said don't sign shit.
And when I was going through that process, I kept seeing obligator. I'm like, what the fuck? It keeps saying obligator. Why does it say signature? And then when I finally went to speak to somebody, he said, nah, because you're obligating yourself to the debt. They can't really put you in jail unless you agree to it. I was like, oh, well, that's the case. And the last thing I was going to hit on, when it comes to parental rights, you said it's an 85 to 15%. 85% the women get it and 50% the dad get it. Everybody who plays poker knows that the chances of pocket aces winning, as long as you go against one person, is an 85% chance. If you have pocket aces, you're going to win the hand as long as you got only facing one person. So you get what I'm saying? So the day you knocked up that woman, you just gave her pocket aces. That's what you gave her. And trust me, she's gonna go all in with that hand every time because she knows the odds is in her favor. The last thing, fellas, you need to be doing is when you know she got pocket aces, you know the odds are against you, fold the hand. It's bad practice of playing losing the hands. Get rid of the hand. Go find another hand. So that's all I want to say about that, man. I'm gonna let the person talk.
You're right, man. We gotta get them in the building. What's going on, bro?
What's up there, Judge Palmer? What's going on with you?
Man, just trying to put out this knowledge and the truth, bro.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. I'm a first-time caller in, man, but long-time listener. I just wanted to put something out there in the manosphere for us men out here, man. And like I said, I appreciate your show. Man, first of all, we need to stop just underestimating these women. First of all, women have friends that work in the child support system. So for the men, check your paperwork. Get your get a birth certificate of your child. You might be on record in the court, but not on record with the state. That's the type of fraud they pulling nowadays. So men need to check their paperwork. Stop taking it for granted that you went to court and everything's good, whether you want to pay it or not. But yeah, they got you legally on paper. A lot of times they don't have you legally on paper. They just put you, they call that surface fraud, where they just have you on paper in the court system, but with the state, your name ain't even on the birth certificate. So men need to be very aware of that. And the next thing I want to say, I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you were married 10 years. I don't care if your child 18. I don't care if you just got married and just had your first baby. Get a paternity test. Do not get a paternity test where the state gets their paternity test. If you got to get an outside vendor to do the paternity test, that's what you do. And I'm not talking about going to the store, get these $99 kits or $39 kits. No. Meaning that you call for a vendor that's out of state, you get the necessary DNA material from the child and yourself, and you send it in. That way, you for sure know that ain't nobody going to possibly get hold of it, tamper it, because that's what they're doing nowadays. They have a cartel. These women have a cartel set up where they can give you a fake DNA.
Oh,
and they'll submit that to the court. Now, if they don't
sounds, all that stuff now.
Right. So men not up on this. If you look it up, you can get a fake DNA report right now and say you the father, and you could just put a name out there. You don't even have to have a baby in the making, and they'll give you whatever you want. So
I post that on Instagram, bro.
Right, and they putting out fake sonograms. But again, if they got a connection in the court system, that connection in the court system gonna make sure they paperwork is submitted. And now you in front of the judge, and the judge looking at you like, and the judge is in on it too. Don't get it mistaken. But the judge is looking at fraudulent paperwork, because the child support system is all fraud anyway. But they looking at fraudulent paperwork, but they're not gonna speak on that because they're getting their Title IV kickbacks. So they're gonna make sure the fuckery continues. You understand what I'm saying?
Of course.
So I just wanted to share that, man. I'm gonna just stay back in the background. And,
I appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Like I said, man, this is what's needed. And like I said, man, go out here and look at your whole file. Go to your whatever your county your children are, access your whole file. Look at all the paperwork they have in there on you. Even if you didn't show up for a court hearing, check to see if she showed up. Because if she didn't show up, guess what? You both didn't get processed. And then so basically they violated one of your constitutional rights, which is a right to due process. So that's a lot of stuff that we don't think about. And I'm sorry, one more last thing, man. We need to get together on this. When you dealing with these court systems, you got a judge that's doing, you don't think that's fair. You got to see other men in that courtroom, pull them to the side. Hey, man, let's file a joint complaint against this judge. Do the same thing with the lawyers too. Their license number is on your paperwork, and if they get enough complaints, they'll stop doing what they're doing. But we have to unify to do that, and that's all I got to say.
My man, brother. Hey, want to give a shout out to Astro Corey, man, for the $10 donation on the Cash App. He sent it at 718. My bad, I didn't see. I'm running off the mouth. Appreciate you, my brother. We got Jay Migtal up in the building, man. What's going on, bro?
What's up, bro? How you doing, bro, today?
I'm cool. I feel good, man, putting out this content, especially about exposing this system and this baby mama terrorism that's going on. Shit, how about you, brother?
Pretty good, man. My cousin going through the same thing. He going through the same like trials and tribulations though, because before he thought it was funny. Like she'd never put me on child.
He thought it was funny.
Yeah, she'll never put me on child support. She'll never do me wrong.
Okay.
And couple of months later, he own the shit. He own the shit. He paying this shit. He paying, I don't know, $600 a month, maybe. So I talked with him.
What was the reason why she put him on child support? Do you know?
Just for the reason, I guess because relationship that wasn't working out.
That's what
type
you
shit.
Yeah, broke up relationship.
And she messing with some other guy, so she just said, "Fuck it," you know.
I bet.
Yeah, and he had to move back in with his mother type shit.
See what I mean, y'all? Y'all better stop taking this shit as a joke. I don't care even if you can afford to pay the child support, because like I said, a lot of cats, it ain't even about child support. It's just trying to get parenting time and stuff like that. You don't take these baby mama tests no joke. These motherfuckers will set you up for failure. Black, white, blue, or green, doesn't matter. They will set you up for failure. Y'all better stop joking and laughing, talking about, yeah, she ain't gonna do shit, and I got her on lock, and yeah, man, I be tickling her chin, and she still got you on child support, and you don't even know it. The paper, she sent the papers to another address, and she go to court, and you ain't even there because you don't know nothing about it. And next thing you know, you got $800 coming out your damn check, and you got a voided check.
While she fraud and affidavit, parentages and stuff like that, paperwork, I'm telling you, they doing it. It's big time. It's big time. People just don't know how big the fraud is, man. They got these doctors involved. They got a lot of people involved on this fraud, man. I'm telling you, real talk.
And that's like against the law, ain't it? Like for fraud and fraudulent like reports and shit. That's like against the law.
It's against the law, but you have to prove it. Now the thing is, if you're not doing your due diligence, you can't prove it. But if you do your due diligence and you see your paperwork ain't right, you know your paperwork ain't right, especially when you go into that place where you got to pick up your file or something like that, or whatever county that is, and the person telling you, hey, something ain't right about your paperwork. They telling you. So you need to look at that paperwork. And if you need to get some legal advice at that point, I would say get some legal advice, but that's not necessary. Hire a lawyer, just see what they had to say, and then do your own research.
Yeah, you get a lawyer for consultation.
That's it.
Or you can what's that? You can also get your paralegal that know just as much as the lawyer. She just ain't qualified.
See, this is the secret to beating them, man. File your own motions. File your own motions. Once you filed enough of your own motions, then you just, if you're gonna get a lawyer, have them come in to sweep up. You see me? And you won't have to pay that much because you already done all their leg work. Only thing they're doing now is coming in as a representative for you, speaking up for you. That's it.
Hold up right quick. Hey, bro, when you click the link, you sign up, it tells you, like, it just tells you, you just keep pressing, I guess, enter. That's all you got to do. And they ask you if you want to show your face or you don't want to show your face, what name you want to put down. It should be simple once you click on the StreamYard link. Just you should be able to just follow it.
But let's, talking about in regards to check your paperwork, this gentleman is 100% correct. Because let me tell you, I was, the day we broke, we started to the divorce. I told myself, I said, let me stop paying child support when I knew it wasn't gonna work out, because I knew some bullshit was coming. So maybe 4 months when I realized as a wrap, I started paying child support. This little funky ass heifer talking about, oh, I left in January, so you owe me since January. I'm like, bitch, you got me, you got me all crazy. So anyway, I ended up going to the child support office. Man, I know probably everybody in here been to the child support office. Man, them people treated me less than dirt.
I never been to the child support office.
Why you ain't paying child? It was a big, typical fat, little heifer. Why you ain't pay your child support? Well, that's what I'm here for. Well, why took you so long? Like, bitch, where you know me from? Why you talking to me like this? You know what I mean? And in that office, everybody inside there was a bunch of single mama with kids. I swear on everything on Florida. A bunch of single mama dragging their kids, basically setting man out. Or he worked here. He been working here for 2 years. He don't know he got that second job over there. They just put in all your business. These women came with social security card of the man. I'm like, how she got that? So that they setting you out. And like I said, it's a big old fraud. And whenever you go, they don't give you no answers. They be like, well, I can't tell you. I ain't got no permission to tell you nothing. But the lady 5 seconds before, you told her everything, and you gave her some links and friggin' a bounty hunter to go find to do that. So don't walk into that child support office, man. You go get your passport and get the hell up out of Dodge, man. That's the first thing I'm gonna tell you to do.
Yeah, well, I agree with that, but I also say go get a copy of the child's birth certificate. Start there. If you can't get a copy of the child's birth certificate, that's your first sign that something ain't right. Something ain't right with this situation. But you on child support. I'm just letting you know.
Right. Hey, Jay MGTOW.
I think like traffic court and child support, like they're like right next door to each other. So I'll be seeing that, like, because
I hear a lot of people say about the traffic courts too. I hear something about the law is illegal and shit. How old is you say is your friend or your cousin?
He's my cousin. He's like the same age as me. He's like about a year younger than me. I'm 27. He about 26. So he been on child support since 2013, 2000.
Yeah. So he do he get to see a child or not?
Well, that's if the dude not around she with. So he got to kind of like get visitation through the courts, and they go in the courtroom and they go do the Zoom and live type shit. He get like court visitations type shit.
Fuck out of here. But long as they were together, he was able to be around the kid, do whatever he want to do.
Yeah.
That's funny as fuck. Well, you know, he more than welcome to come on the show if you want to tell his story. 600. He just thought that she was gonna be she probably told him, I'll never put you on child support. She probably told him all that shit. You can't fall for what these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got Sergeant Tyson up in the building. You still in New York, man?
Nah, man, I'm in Jersey. I'm at home.
You back at home? Okay. You've been out there in New York for a while, man. Ever since that Capitol Hill shit. How you doing?
Doing good.
Man, I'm good, brother. Just trying to keep up the awareness, man. Keep spreading this shit and just build this brotherhood.
Yep. I'm gonna call right back in. Go back inside.
Okay. All right, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you those army dudes, man. I know a couple of partner of mine that was to the military, boy. They don't play. You don't have to go to court with them. They just got to go to your command. They take them child support.
Exactly, man. That's the sad
part. You in the military, man. That's your ass. A car payment. They ain't got to go to court. They just got to go to your who your commander. You owe us.
I'm gonna do it. Well, funny you said that. I got quite a few military men on here. I'm gonna do a segment where they tell their story about some came on a couple of times, but we're gonna talk about military men who get screwed by the same system they work for. Why they fighting in war? Why they overseas? Why they in the military, bro? Getting set up to failure.
Let me tell you a story about that. One of my partners, the fail, he was a firefighter, white dude. Just for that dude talking about white men have it different. He a white dude. He went to Iraq. This is in 2007. He was over there for 7 months. And he got put in the arrears. Do you know they took 90% of his check for a year and a half?
For what? For what? Rearage?
For child support until the court gave them an order that they had to pay child support. But the military said, no, he's being deployed. He's making extra money. They took 90% of his check for a year and a half. I was like, I don't believe you.
Hey, bro, I'd have got a dishonorable discharge.
No, he was making in Iraq.
He was in Iraq.
$200 bi-weekly.
Shit. Nah, man.
And it wasn't like
90%.
Like a paper pusher. He was in infantry, so he was out there patrolling for $300.
Risking his life.
It's not funny. It
ain't funny, but I know you laugh because that's how bad it is. that right there. That right there, man. And then you expect him to come out of war and all that with a clear head and back to the world and
we had to convince him not to beat her ass. We were like, yo, dude, you can't.
I know you did.
You can't do that. You can't. We were like, dog, you can't put your hand on this girl. He said, man, I'm a killer. I said, man, you do that,
you're gonna lose it all. It ain't worth it.
You're gonna lose it all.
You're gonna lose
we
it
had
all.
To talk about it for about
beat that whole ass. Put it all on the line and beat that whole ass.
I mean, you should have saw his face, man. I was like, dude, I'm like, let me see your pay stubs, man. You lying to me. He showed me them pay stubs, man. I'm like, man, you was over there fighting a war for $300 every 2 weeks.
They go to war. They go to war with the baby mama terrorists. They ain't worried about the war in Iraq. I'm telling you, I'm keeping it real with y'all. I talked to many soldiers who said that they war was in family court, man. I feel bad for them. You know, we're gonna talk. I'm gonna do a segment with that. I've been prolonging it because Perfect Blackness was in the military. Wayez, see, he was in the Marines. Who else? Julius Mays was in the military. Quite a few people was in the military that got screwed by the baby mama terrorists in this system, man. Sergeant Tyson, he's currently in the military. So yeah, we definitely do that. La Original up in the building. What's going on?
Nothing. I just wanted to chime in. I don't even know what's
Mortal
going on. I just
Kombat
wanted
movie.
to tell you niggas. Oh yeah,
You're-
it was. Don't get me.
I know, right? I want to
Just watch
respect
it because
that. I want
the
to.
ending pissed me off. But anyway,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just wanted to chime in and say, stop raising other people's kids. I don't even know what the topic of the conversation is. I just wanted to encourage you men to stop taking care of other niggas' babies.
Nah, don't stop doing
Setting
that.
yourself
Don't
up
listen
for
to her.
fucking
Don't
failure.
listen to her. Right
Don't
now,
listen.
I got a simp enforcer paying all the bills while I'm gone. I want that to last forever. Like I want that to last as long as it can last. Because that
Taking
keeps me
care
off the
of
radar.
another man's child is no different than holding that man's dick in your hands because that child came from that
Well,
man's
let
dick.
him hold my dick because I'm not trying to get no check. Y'all simple forces keep doing what you're doing. You tell her she's beautiful.
I don't
Tell her
respect
that she ain't do nothing
I'm
wrong.
just saying I don't.
Hey, the
I
reason
would never in my fucking life.
what this
Never.
what this about? It was a college professor. He basically exposed child support for being full of shit. He did it on economic aspect and had statistics on how the single motherhoodism from these baby mama terrorists reap the benefits, and it's not about the best interest of the kids.
It's not.
So
You
yeah,
can be a horrible fucking.
it does not matter.
And the courts will still rule in your favor. There's no benefit. Listen to me. I have a whole uterus. There is no benefit. There's no benefit in taking care of a child that is not yours. I wish you men would stop fucking doing it. And
Facts.
talking about I stepped up.
Facts.
To what? You stepped up to what?
You know
and there's
what?
no appreciation for it either. You're a buffoon.
But let me
Stop
tell you
taking
this.
care of the niggas' kids. I lose a lot of respect for niggas for doing that. Like, why? Oh, I stepped up to what?
Let me tell you this.
Taking care of other niggas' kids and the bitch, the biological mother, because you ain't the biological father, she out here doing dicks. You niggas are stupid.
Let me tell you this. Thanks to a lot of simp enforcers, let me tell you what's keeping a lot of dudes off child support. Because the simp enforcer is doing his job. He's taking care of that beautiful woman.
Yep, sure do.
These bitches don't be stop. A lot of these bitches be looking like men. They don't be beautiful. We're not gonna tell that lie.
As long as you keep telling her
Facts.
that's what matters.
A lot of them be looking like Mr. Palmer with a lace front. We're not gonna do that.
Facts.
We're not gonna do that.
Yeah. So
court is adjourned.
You said it like me, huh?
Right now, I got a simp enforcer taking care of the kids, the whole entire family. That man is doing right by me. I want that to last forever.
Why? Why do you want another man to take care of your child?
Because as long as he's simping, she ain't trying to look for me.
But just because she look for you, that don't mean she's gonna find you.
Oh, well, I don't want her to even stop because eventually when people start looking, eventually they do find.
I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's a snake. All right now. Okay.
What you got, a python?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so y'all may have a problem with simp enforcers. I love them. People.
I don't have any respect for any man who raises a
respect is irrelevant. As long as he keep doing listen, simp enforcers keep the world keep going around.
That's why we fucked up.
Okay, my thing is, why can't he just not take care of the kid and you just move on with your life?
Why would she want that when she can get the benefit of both guys?
Right.
Why did you knock this bitch up? Why? How did this come about?
Huh?
Why did you the one why you knock this bitch up?
Oh no, wait. It was a mistake. I don't want to say it's a mistake to knock her up, but I don't want to say that. But again,
it was a mistake. Did you want the baby?
They was married.
They were married?
Yeah.
They was married. So I mean, it's not like, but just like everything else, it went from good to bad.
Were there red flags before you got married?
Man, everything ain't always a red flag though.
Yeah.
It ain't always a red flag.
When things go bad,
it is if you pay attention. And if you take your time, if you take your time.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, we should take our time.
If me and my cousin go back and forth about this shit all the time, and she says taking your time doesn't matter. Yes, the fuck it does.
No, yes, it does. It does.
Taking your time.
Doing more research.
Very big fucking difference.
Doing more research make a big difference. Now, doing more research. You need to know their mama, their dad.
You have to see how somebody acts when they get comfortable, and it takes time for a motherfucker to get comfortable.
And that's why
them get comfortable, and they'll show you who they really are.
And that's why I say don't rush it, because you got to definitely dissect these motherfuckers. You have to.
This is how it goes. Well, let me tell you what happens. A woman get pregnant, the relationship doesn't work out. She starts to realize, this Negro took some good years out of me, and I have to punish him.
The nigga didn't take anything from you. You gave him them fucking years. That's a lack of accountability. A nigga can't take something you have to give it to him.
But they always got lack of accountability. What you mean? They don't even call themselves out for what that shit, alienation. They'll say they ain't do nothing. They just say they ain't do nothing.
That's the reason why most people are paying child support, because she understood, I had babies and was with these guys in my 20s, my good years. I'm fat and ugly now. Nobody wants me. So now I got to
be fat and ugly from the very beginning, but continue.
But let's be honest, when women get pregnant, that's usually the beginning of the fall off, because they gain all the weight. And
bitches be falling off from before then.
Facts.
You can't see these things
it's just
before.
The baby is when they're really off the cliff.
Listen, if people saw these things before, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in.
Niggas be seeing it, but no. You niggas be seeing it, but y'all be seeing it with a hard dick. That's the problem. Niggas will see the red flags and be like, it's not really red. It looks just like a dark pink. It's not really red. It's magenta. No, nigga, it's fucking red. You would be able to see that if you didn't have an erection. And I'm not going to hold you. Some of the bitches that you niggas be having kids by, I be wondering if y'all niggas is into men, because a lot of you niggas baby mothers be looking like straight up fucking shims. I don't know if you know what a shim is. Like, you ever see a nigga who brag? I've heard niggas brag about all the bitches that they get. And when you see the bitch they got a baby, I was like, this bitch? This bitch that looked like one of the characters off the dinosaur? Not the mama? This not the mama looking ass bitch? This, you brag about all the bad bitches you fuck, but when you see a nigga baby mother, that will really tell you whether he bad bitches or not, because a lot of niggas brag about how they be getting 9s and 10s, and they baby mothers be a strong -5 in the face.
They be 49ers. As a coach
called. No matter how she looks.
Like this bitch looks like fucking Jamie Foxx in the face.
Y'all stupid. Hey, I gotta give a shout out to deadbeat cousin for the $4.99 donation. Take care of another man's child while she's alive is like doing time for a crime you didn't commit.
Even if she's dead, it is not your response. I do not raise other people's children. Not my child, not my fucking problem. And I'm a female. I don't understand why a lot of you niggas don't adopt the same concept. And I noticed that a lot of these stepdaddy ass niggas were raised by single mothers. And the mother don't never step in and say, hey, that ain't your child. Mind your fucking business and move on. I don't see mothers telling their sons, hey, you are not responsible for a child that's not yours. Stop rape. I wish I would have a son. And this nigga tell me that not only is he dating a female with a child, but you want to do what? You want to raise what? I will embarrass him.
You know why a lot of women are not doing that? Because a lot of women, while they were raising that son, whoever she named as the baby daddy wasn't the baby daddy. So it's all right for him to raise another man's child, because the man she had in his life wasn't his father. That's the real talk about it.
Yeah, if you sign up to step up, don't get mad when that bitch puts you on child support for a child that's not yours. You wanna know why? Even if you don't sign the birth certificate, they can make you pay child support just because you volunteered to be in a child's life.
And they was in the same house for so long. Yep. Depending on the state. Y'all gotta learn that. So
I know someone who I tried to tell them that that's the situation that could possibly come about. And I said, you can say whatever the fuck you want. I'm not slow. I said, call your lawyer and ask your lawyer if it's a possibility that you could pay for a child that's not yours. Guarantee you're going to tell you yes. Even if you didn't sign the birth certificate, which I think his dumbass probably did. Even if you didn't give the child your last name, which your dumbass probably did. So he says, oh, I'm going to take a DNA test. And when it shows that it's not mine, it don't fucking matter. So I'm trying to, it don't matter. It doesn't matter if you take a DNA test and it shows that the child is not yours, because you could have gotten a DNA test from the very beginning and you didn't. You're fucked, my guy. You're literally at the mercy of this war.
I emphatically disagree with this young lady. I want you simping forces to keep simping forcing. Keep taking care of these babies that don't belong to you. Keep doing the Lord's work. You will be rewarded in heaven. And I want the simping forcer who's taking care of my kids. I want you to continue to take care of them children. That you're your kids. Whatever you're getting out of it, I hope it continues. I don't want them to ever break up.
I'm not getting no good pussy out the deal, to be honest.
Who cares? Keep taking care of them children. Keep taking care of them children. Don't listen to this woman. She don't know what she's talking about.
So she doesn't allow you to see your kids?
No. Listen, that's one of the cards that that's the major card most women play. I removed that by icing my veins. I said, you ain't got to see it. Let me see them. Don't worry, I can fix that for you.
Smart. You smart. A lot of these women play that game. Oh, I'm not gonna let you see the kids. I don't understand why you niggas don't just say okay and keep it pushing.
Yeah, I did. I finally had to say, wash my hands, move on.
A lot of niggas let bitches use kids to control them. You're a vagina. You never let a bitch control you with nothing. It don't matter whether she got kids, whether y'all so fucking what. You don't let a woman control you.
Facts. Yeah, go ahead.
One thing that turns me off is a weak man. When you are moving off of emotion and you're letting a woman emotionally manipulate you because your ass is weak and you don't have a backbone to walk away. I don't give a fuck if they're your kids or not. Walk away.
Now she's talking. Now she's preaching.
Oh what?
Now she's preaching now.
So what? And people always say you don't have kids, you don't understand. I don't give a fuck whether I have kids or not. You shouldn't be weak for any other human being. Period. Kids shit on their parents all the time. You got parents out here that bust their ass, take care of their kids, pay for them to go to college, give them a trust fund and inheritance, create generational wealth for their kids. And you know where their kids stick them when they don't want to be fucking bothered? Nursing home. Now you shitting on yourself and waiting 30 minutes for someone to come and flip you over and wipe your ass. Get the fuck out of here. You shouldn't be weak for nobody. Your kids. Because let me tell you something. Your kids can send you to an early fucking grave. Nobody.
Ain't that what I said yesterday?
Facts.
That's what I said yesterday, man.
My son.
Wash your hands and move on.
Fucking what? So what? So what? That's your daughter. So what?
That's state law. That's state law.
That's my mother, that's my father when they're fucking going out of their way to make your life a fucking living hell, because not every child appreciates a good parent.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That's their loss. I had a mother and a father. That's your loss. That's your loss. You want to entertain this baby mama tells you don't want a father. That's your loss, not mine. You the one gonna lack when you get older. So I agree.
But like I said, I agree. And I end with this. Most women that they just know it. That is the big joker I could play on him. And again, when a woman knows
that pussy ain't hit like it was
when a woman knows what you love and what you fear, and most women knows you love your children and they know you fear of losing them. They play both of those ends and you're fucked. If they do, that is how to get 99% of men. But what you love and what you fear.
I've seen a nigga that used to be so strong. I seen a bitch just turn him into a fucking sucker. And I asked him, I said, what the fuck did this bitch do to you to make you so you wasn't like this? What the fuck did this bitch do to you? And he said, when you said that, it hit home. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did, because I know you very well. And you was never like this. He used to be the type of nigga, he wouldn't let a bitch get away with nothing. He wouldn't let a bitch get away with nothing. Now you got this little ugly Chris Rock in the face, snagger-tooth, Jiminy Cricket looking ass bitch. Got you out here about to have a nervous breakdown over kids and one of them ain't even yours. Get the fuck, yo, bro. I was so tired. I'm just like, what are even yours? What the fuck are you doing? You're in all this mental distress. I'm like, yo, you want me to beat her up? Because I'll whoop her ass. I don't give a fuck. You don't want me to put my hands on her. All right, so you gonna just keep on going through the bullshit. I'll drag her. I don't give a shit.
I'm gonna be like Beetlejuice. I'm gonna say deadbeat 3 times. Nobody died, right? Nobody died, right? That's the worst that could happen. That's the worst they could do is call you a deadbeat.
And the shit that's baffling is motherfuckers be in their emotions over kids you didn't fucking want. You just didn't have the balls to tell that bitch, I don't want to get a fucking abortion. A lot of you niggas don't have no backbone or no balls to tell these bitch, you should have swallowed, but you didn't. So we gonna go to this motherfucking Planned Parenthood and we gonna put down $2.99 and let's see what's happening. Shaking over there. A lot of you niggas be in your feelings over kids you didn't fucking want in the first place. I know a lot of niggas who, if they could go back, they would have never had them kids because they didn't want them kids to fucking begin with. But a lot of you niggas don't have no backbone or no fucking balls, and it's pathetic because you niggas are gonna raise your son to be just as fucking soft as y'all are. And that's the fucking facts. One thing I can't stand is no soft ass, room temperature butter ass nigga. And then you're gonna raise your sons to be just as fucking weak because they sitting there looking at you and sitting there looking at their mother control you like a bitch. Who's the man of the house?
The woman.
That's but there shouldn't be the woman shouldn't be the man of the house if there's a motherfucking man there.
Not at all. But when you allow it to happen and you were one of those sympathy forces, but you was raised by baby mama Ted, there you go. That's why you got weak young men out here today going to jail because somebody said, "Hey, I don't want to be with you," and they go kill them because they in their emotion, they reactive. You know that's what I'm saying. This is why society's fucked up now.
When I see a lot of Mm-hmm.
Man, we got.
And I'll be honest, some of you niggas had a good woman and picked a BMT over the good woman, and I wish you the worst of everything that life has to offer.
Yeah,
just saying.
That's them. MPI.
Because I'm gonna be honest, a lot of hoes and BMTs are winning. Y'all walking them trash bags down the aisle.
Well, that's because these sympathy forces they still they love them, they look out for them. You know, you got these Derrick Jackson types that's gonna still call them queens. So yeah, I'm not surprised about that. Shit, that's something society loves and endure. That ain't going nowhere.
Have the highest rate of divorce, and I'm not surprised.
MPI, what you doing, man?
Oh, hey.
Shit, up here in Illinois, on my way to Aurora, Illinois, on this truck.
What you doing, man?
Hey, turn the YouTube off so we don't hear doubles. Yeah, I hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. When you come to the stream, you gotta cut off the YouTube, build double and shit.
I did. Can you hear me clear now?
Good, yeah, good. You in Illinois?
Yeah, on my way to Aurora.
Aurora?
Yeah.
Aurora, yeah, it's Aurora. You finna go on probably 88, I believe.
Yeah, but speaking on what La said, I remember I was that person. I was young though.
Yeah.
I was and that shit, it happened when I was in high school, but now that I'm older, that's something I would never do again, especially when I have my own child. I don't even feel right taking care of somebody else's child when I can't even take care of mine like I want to. Because when you with a woman who got kids, you're around her kids more than your own.
I feel you.
And then, like I told you with the text I sent you about my trainer, hearing him on the phone, man, I'm over here like he just don't understand what he have up against him. And then when he told me this girl got a baby by a man who got, prior to him, got 10 kids, and he done recently got locked up for having one.
That sound like Cynthia G.
So I was like, and then, boy, he just proud to be taking care of some kids that ain't his. And I'm just like, it's sad. And just like everybody else, like La said, most of the time, it be guys who came from a single parent household and don't have that mom that says, look, go find your woman that don't have kids and start your own family.
Yeah, because I mean, here's the thing. being a stepfather back in the day, that was cool. They didn't have them problems. But if you're gonna be a stepdad in this day and age, man, you better be careful. I remember what I talked about on that TikTok dude. He said he adopted his stepdaughter and he ended up paying child support. He spent over $100,000 in legal fees and stuff like that. And he lost his whole livelihood.
But check this out, Mr. Palmer. The big difference is back in the day, they were actually married. See,
right.
Nowadays, they're not married, but they're stepfathers. You understand me? So
they step simps.
Step simps. But that's my point. They're not married to the woman.
They're not even married.
Taking care of another man's child.
Yeah.
And smiling.
Yeah, I did that sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? Before. Now I'll never do shit like that again. You know, you believe in what the baby mama terrorists say, but then you find out later on the father wasn't a deadbeat. It was just he got tired of the bullshit and the fuckery. So I agree, 100%.
And then, hey, Mr. Palmer, what make it worse is when this woman, you being a stepdad to her kids, and then you mess around and get her pregnant too. So eventually you're gonna end up in the same position one day.
You're right, facts. And I end up going through the same shit, right? So that's what I'm saying. So that will never happen again. Phil say Cynthia G has a lot of kids. Nah, she ended up having a kid with a dude who had 5 kids, and he was selling bootleg CDs of Tariq Nasheed DVDs. And he called everybody else Dusties and deadbeats, but she ended up getting one by one of them fake black pro deadbeat men. And the only reason why he called her deadbeat now, she called him a deadbeat now because he left her alone. That was some years back, bro.
He was bootlegging Hidden Colors?
He was selling bootleg Tariq Nasheed DVDs, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but let me just tell you what the scam is right now, man, because a lot of dudes need to be up on this. Let's say you have a child, or you think you have a child with this woman, right? And she got you on child support, right? And she gets you to move in with her, right? Now that first child, you think you on child support with her, you think it's yours, but it's really another nigga's. But then you might wind up getting pregnant the second time, and that is your child. And that's the type of setup these women are doing to men. But see, men got to, like I said, you got to do your due diligence and take a look at everything. Get your children tested. I don't give a damn you married, divorced. I don't care. I don't care if your case closed. Get your children tested.
Why chance it?
And more important than getting your children tested, and shout out to Minister Japp. He did a show a couple of days back, having a big discipline. Boy, ladies and gentlemen, man, like I said, everybody, I'm here down in Mexico, and one thing I see when you Negroes come down here, man, y'all just try to screw everything in sight. I mean, I don't know, it's like you sex craved or something. I don't know what the hell is going on with half of you dudes, man. But yo, man, find something productive to do. Go find yourself, I don't like to call it a side hustle. Go find yourself your real hustle, because most of y'all not really doing what you really want to do. Go find yourself a real hustle and focus your attention on that. And it's like a dog with a bone. Just keep your eyes on that until you get what you want to accomplish done. The reason why, let me tell you this. Wherever you see wherever there's a bunch of kids, there's a lot of people who are having you have nothing to do. Where there's poverty, there's a bunch of kids. Never fails. Poverty and a bunch of kids go together. Find something constructive and productive to do and focus on that. If you're driving trucks, drive until you can't drive no more. If you're selling CDs, sell that until you can't sell that no more. Just focus on something. The reason why you over here have time to make all these babies is because you have nothing constructive that you're focusing on. People who are focused on things, they're just not out here just screwing everything that walks. Something is keeping them preoccupied.
Right.
You have too much time on your hands.
And that's why I say change the laws of your mind. Because all that trying to chase tail and all that stuff, man, that's a waste, man. That's why a lot of men going MGTOW, they ain't going. You know what I'm saying? I can't do MGTOW, but red pill all the way. And anything that's gonna better you as a man and change yourself, that's what you gotta do it. Cause while you having all this sex and having all these kids, you sitting back selling streetwise on the corner, you ain't got nowhere to go and to pop the piss in anything because you living with that woman and she kicked your ass out.
Right. And I remember there's a book. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just saying it ain't worth it, man. You're right. Change that mindset. Stop just trying to chase some tail. It ain't worth it.
I know everybody have heard of this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I remember the first time I read that book and he talked about sex transmutation and all that stuff. I was like, this crazy white boy. I ignored that part. Then I heard it from Neely Fuller. And Neely Fuller said this: if you having sex more than twice a week, you having too much. I disagree with him. If you fucking more than 3 times a month, you're doing too much, man. Focus on something. Focus. It's like, you get what I'm saying? Every sometimes, and I'm not over here just talking, just every month that go by that I realize, man, I ain't talked to a chick in a while. It's just because I'm just so focused on what I'm doing right now. I'm that focused. And you men who are listening to me, you need to find that focus. You need to find it. If you over here just wasting time with freaking your thumbs on Twitter and Instagram, man, this is how you gonna get caught up. Busy people don't get caught up in child support like this, like we, because that's how I got caught up. I didn't have too much on my hand, and to tell you honest truth, but I remember when the second time she told me she pregnant, I was shocked. Like, you can get pregnant by having sex. I'm like, this heifer pregnant again? I was like, that's how goofy I was. You get what I'm saying? But once I got my focus, man, I'm not even thinking about them like that. And sometimes I'll be on these little funky dating apps, and then I'll be making an appointment. Then 5 minutes later, I'm like, man, I'm not finished up. I didn't even know why I said yes to to begin with. You know what I mean? Because I was just trying to get this.
Man, hey, but you know what? That's all right. That's why we got this page. That's why we got this group. You know what I'm saying? To definitely open people's mindset and vision, man. Because if they keep thinking that way, like you say, go ahead and hit, and have these different kids, they're gonna be set up for failure. Talking about, hey, I need to come on your show and do a 1-on-1. And that's why it's all about just spreading awareness.
And this is why I'm not really, when people say get your passport, yeah, if you get your passport because you're trying to, dodge some things, yeah, but most of these fellas are out here, and again, one of the things, I get to go around different places. Most of you people who are going getting passport, they're going over there and just being sex deviants. It's like, why? You're just going to get caught up somewhere else, you know what I mean? And then if you get caught up over there, you know what I mean? This brother just got shot in Colombia for gold chain. I mean, you'll go over there and get shut up for some other man's woman, man.
Man, get out of here. Nah, I'm
focus, man. Just focus.
I'm talking about going to other countries, make some money.
Right.
Put your business out there that they don't have or is not as lucrative, and you make something out of it. You know what I'm saying? Nah, fuck all that.
Most of these dudes just going over here, just going overseas to be sex deviants. That's all they're doing.
Well, that's on them, man. Because after going through what we went through or seen go through, why even chance it?
Yeah.
Nah, hell nah. Any last words, man? I'm gonna go and get ready to log off, man. We've been on here for a good 2 hours. That was a good dialogue, and you know what I'm saying. I'm glad my boy Julius sent this economic video. It just shows how full of shit child support is, and look out for these baby mama terrorists who be consoling your parents. What's your take, bro?
Well, you know what? My last words for the night again is do your due diligence, check your paperwork, test your children. I don't give a damn if you got 30 of them, test them all. And like I said, don't use the county to test the children, because remember, that's where the baby mamas work at. So don't use them. They don't set you up. Go and get an independent vendor to test your children. And like I said, check your paperwork. Appreciate the time.
Hey, appreciate you as well, man. Roger, anything else you gotta say before you go back outside in Mexico?
Yeah, hey man, what I would say to this, I would say a couple of things. Don't go down to them courthouses and put yourself on no child support. If they're gonna put you on it, they can work for it. They make them work. Don't do the free work for them. And lastly, again, Anybody who plays poker, pocket aces have an 85% chances of winning if you go against one person. Why am I saying this? Hey, man, when it comes to the child support game or this custody game, the odds are not in your favor. Playing losing hands. Know when to fold a hand and wait for new cards.
You ain't said nothing but a word, man. That's facts. Appreciate y'all two staying on and coming in, man. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this thing down. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you both. And also MPI. Gotta give a shout out once again to MPI, man, for the $5 donation, man. One time for all the men who stepped up to be stepdaddy to a baby mama terrorist. LOL. You ain't never lied. Cause a lot of people being stepfathers and they not even married. That's what I'm saying. These step simps.
Hey, man, let them do what they do, man. I got it good. Let them do what they do.
Yeah, that's their business. They do them. I'm just saying, like, shit, man, you ain't even married to them, and you talking about you stepdaddy, and then you living with them, then you on child support. You like, how did that happen? Shit, different laws, different cities, different states. You could just live there. Say you what they call that when you been with them 10 years? When you're not married, but they call it, what they call that shit after 10 years?
Common law.
Common law. A lot of states are common law, and they treat you just like y'all is married. Shout out to 100 DB said dope song with Ramil, by the way. Appreciate you. Oh yeah, we gonna
pump and dumping these bitches.
It's going good. If y'all can please spread that music, share that music, because we're gonna have it all over the internet. Of course, we're gonna do a video. We're gonna get it mixed and mastered and make it happen. So and that ain't the only music we're gonna be doing. That's not the only song. So I appreciate you for that. But yeah, Roger, man, we're gonna definitely do something tomorrow. I'll be on here tomorrow. So I want to say shout out to the Baby Mama Terrorist Bounty Hunters. This was a good dialogue. And for now on, even though I've been saying it before, when they tell you child support is for deadbeats, child support is for men who want to be fathers, child support is for the best fit for the kid, beneficial for the kid, it's not. It's for government daddy to make that $51 billion crime bill. You heard it from a professor for the West Coast, I believe in California, that tells you that it's not about the kid. And then on an economical aspect, it doesn't work. And it's setting up the non-custodial parent, which is the man, 85%, setting them up for failure. So we ain't found nobody guilty, but this system is already guilty. And I say court is adjourned. I'm Mr. Palmer, and this conversation is over. Fuck child support. Peace. Yeah. Baby mama terrorist. BMT.
It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. Riding around, try to play the role as innocent with an evil soul. In public, wearing fake hellos. Behind closed doors, she rocked them horns. I moved on, she wanna teach me a lesson. Can't see my kids, man, I'm stressing. Couldn't see my son to give me his present. She got married to teach me a lesson. Telling people she did nothing wrong. Knowing that well since I moved on. Thought that money would keep me home. Hell no, bitch, I'm gone. I don't know what you lost your mind. Try to say my name, but I know your kind. Saying I'm a deadbeat, bitch, you lying. Fighting in court, man, I'm trying to be a father to my kids. She focus on the wrong shit, worrying about another being instead of us co-parenting. Put my kids in grown folks' business, telling them lies, bitch, you wicked. Split personality, oh yeah, you twisted. Never thought I'd go through this. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.